The Something for the Weekend team are still on a wee bit of a break from their regular shows. Life has just been too busy to get us all together, but that doesn't mean we've been sitting idly by. Far from it. Fiona has been out finding out about the world's toughest row. Our quartet of hardy seafarers paid a visit to the region recently to test the choppy west coast waters ahead of the Talisker Whisky Atlantic Rowing Challenge. In December, the Atlantic Nomads will be leaving the safety of Gomera in the Canary Islands in their 28-foot ocean rowing boat, Doris, and rowing unsupported 3,000 miles across the Atlantic Ocean to Antigua in the Caribbean. Known as the world's toughest row, the challenge will strip the team of all the comforts of modern life and test every part of their mental and physical resilience. Fiona caught up with the team at Dunstaffnage Marina following their recent training camp, and here's what crew member Euan Fraser had to say about the epic adventure.
Okay, so hello Euan. Been up in
Hello.
the west coast, the wonderful west coast for the last week. Tell us what you've been doing.
Well, we come up to Oban to go and basically do a bit of a training camp, a bit of an open water training camp. So we've been rowing out from Dunstaffnage Marina out into the Firth of Lawn and onto the sort of southern end of Mull and the Sound of Mull. We've been testing lots of different skills and drills in some fairly rough conditions. So it's been a really successful training camp. We've come up and we've tested almost everything that we'll have to do on the boat for getting across the Atlantic, between rowers changing over positions nice and sharp, to using the water maker, to navigation and boat handling, and almost everything else that we need to do. So it's been really successful.
Now we're standing next to Doris.
Yes, Doris.
Your trusty boat. She's not looking very big. What kind of size is she?
No, so she's about 28 feet long, but Doris can look sort of deceptively large when you see her on the trailer, when you step on her for the first time. But yeah, when you get her on the water, you realise that you are under some pretty tight restrictions for space, and that can be challenging for things like how you conduct your sort of daily admin, call it, how you live on the boat and how you all get along with one another as well. You're living at pretty close quarters. But this is a Rannoch R45 ocean rowing boat. She's already done one crossing with another team a couple of years ago, so we've got every faith in Doris to get us across there in one piece.
Now I'll just explain to everybody that there is four of you. So who's with you?
So we've got Tom Rose, James Woolley, and Taylor Wynyard are the rest of the crew. So yeah, with four of us on there, there's not a lot of space. But we've all been, we've known each other for what feels like a long time now. We've all been training hard together for, obviously since the end of the last round of COVID restrictions. So we've all been putting the hours in together. So I hope we've all got faith in one another to get us there as well.
You're saying you've all been friends, but with all the will in the world, you're going to be spending 40 days, is it, with these friends?
Yeah, it'll be about the 40-day mark, we hope. Yeah. Hopefully a little bit quicker if the winds and the tide are with us.
So tell us a wee bit about the challenge.
So it's about 3,000 miles rowing from Gomera in the Canaries across to Antigua in the Caribbean. We leave on the 12th of December, and of course it's a race, so we get there as fast as we can. We're training to give the best account of ourselves we possibly can. Things like race winners and world records and all that sort of stuff are largely set by the conditions that you face out there. So we're just going to go out there and give it our absolute best shot we can.
And like I said, I mean, you're all going to be living in this confined space together. Will you still be speaking by Christmas?
Well, time will tell. Well, we're looking forward to spending Christmas on the Atlantic. We'll maybe have a few little bits and bobs to celebrate with. So hopefully we're all still talking to each other by then. Otherwise, it'll be a bit of a damp scud celebration. But no, I think we will. A big part of doing this is just the experience of it. It's not just about the competition of the race. It's the experience of it. I think when we get to the other end, part of that will be having bonded more closely and having gone through something that most people would never experience, and certainly most people never get to experience with others who they get close to. And adversity and facing up to adversity as part of a team has a way of bringing people closer together.
And I just mentioned Christmas there, which has made me think about eating and drinking while you're on board this. Do you get a chance to have anything decent, or is it very limited what you can take?
Very limited. So eating on the boat is basically dry ration packs rehydrated out of boiling water out of a jet boil. But to be fair, the food we've been testing so far has been all right. It's been pretty as tasty as could be expected. And the team will also have little snack packs and whatnot made up that they'll take with them today, and that gives you scope for a little bit of morale. Hopefully, a few Tunnock's caramel wafers stuffed in there to keep me going. But yeah, the team will need to each individual will be needing to consume something like 6,000 calories a day, because you'll be rowing 2 hours on, 2 hours off, and obviously you'll expend a lot of energy doing that, but also just the energy that will be expended by being in such a challenging environment as well.
And I know that if I was in that small cabin on the ocean for 30 days, I probably wouldn't want to eat much anyway. Is seasickness a problem at all?
Well,
Can it be?
Well, again, that's something that we have to prepare for in training. It's not just about jumping on the oars and rowing hard. There's every aspect of it that you've got to train for. So we try out different little remedies whilst we're out training. Thankfully, nobody suffered too bad. Although if you ask other members of the team, they'll maybe tell you that I suffer for it more than most. But no, so again, this week we try out different little remedies for that. But thankfully, touch wood, we've been okay so far.
Have you got a backup team, Euan, at all? And, if somebody did take ill, or if there was other problems, have you got a supporting?
So the whole fleet has 2 support yachts who are part of the Atlantic Campaigns team that run the event. So there are others out there, but the likelihood of you seeing them, unless you call for them, is pretty slim, because the fleet will be spread out between 4s and 5s, mostly at the front, right all the way back to individual rowers. So with only 2 support yachts to support almost 40 boats over a really broad physical spread, we don't expect to see them. So we're training to be self-sufficient for the crossing.
But if there was a problem, they'd be on hand.
Yeah, they're there for emergencies, but we're fingers crossed that's not going to happen to us.
So realistically, what's your aim for this? What time-wise?
I mean, the bracket we've given ourselves is pretty broad. I think we target 40 days, but as I say, we just get out there, row as hard as we can, give the best account of ourselves as we can. The preparation for it is it's going really well, and it's been very. We've tried to take into account every aspect of this, so things like our nutrition, physical preparation. We've got a rowing coach. We do, the sort of the psychological preparation of building a team as well. So we're going through what we think are all those aspects that are going to get us across there as fast as we can.
And going back to the week you've had up here, have you found it beneficial? Is there anything that you found up here that's challenged you that you haven't found anywhere else during your training yet?
I think the conditions you find here are shaped by the land around the water you're rowing as well, and how that changes things like wind direction, tides, and all that sort of stuff. So it was always quite difficult the first couple of days. We went out and we were rowing into headwinds gusting about anywhere between about 16 and 20 knots at times. Obviously that whips up a lot of surface, white horses on the surface of the water and whatnot that can bounce the boat around a little bit. But that's why we came here, because if you just go out and train in permissive conditions, you, I think, can lull yourself into a false sense of security, because it's not going to be like that when you're rowing across the great sort of expanse of the Atlantic Ocean.
So basically you came up to the west coast because you heard about our rubbish weather?
Well, I'm from Saltcoats, so I know all about the rubbish weather on the west coast of Scotland, so that's why we initially had the idea to come up here. But for all the difficult conditions that we face, you have little spells of sunshine where you can row out, and there's nowhere better to be on the middle of the water on a rowing boat looking around you at Mull and back down into Oban and down the Firth of Lorne and whatnot. So you have the best of both worlds.
Great. Well, thanks very much, Euan, and
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll see you back at some point, but good luck with your challenge.
Thank you very much.
We'd love to hear your feedback on the podcast, so why not drop us a line? Something for the weekend at opentimes.co.uk, or comment on our Instagram or Facebook pages. If you fancy getting involved with the programme, or have some original music, please get in touch. That's all for this week. There'll be another new podcast, same time, same place next week. And of course, you can listen to some of our earlier podcasts at www.obentimes.co.uk/podcasts.